That's a dumb death, bro. That was an insane attempt one, though. Damn. Wow. No way. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. I cannot believe I did that. Holy shit! What was that? That is the single most insane session of play on a level I've ever had. I played 2 attempts from 0 today. One of them was a death at 56. One of them was the completion. What the fuck just happened? That's the shortest raw footage I've ever had. Are you kidding me? I've been recording for 3.5 minutes. What? Yes! I fluked so much. Oh, wow. Fluked the whole asymmetrical duel, which isn't bad once you learn it. I fluked the wave, the mini-wave, bro. I was so nervous I was going to die that mini-wave in the ship, too. I should have died in the ship like 3 times. I had no control in that last ship part. Holy cow. I can't. Wow. Wow. I cannot believe that. Holy shit. That took like no time at all. What was that? What did I... What, huh? What the fuck? That could have so easily taken me so much longer. I mean, I could have been here like up until the wire trying to do this tonight before midnight. That's insane. Holy shit. Wow. That's insane. That is demon number 314 for the month of January, which is really, really cool to say I've done. That's awesome. God damn, dude. What was my worst fail? See, I think it was just 69 times 1. Bro, I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. That's insane. Wow. Holy fuck. Alright, so for a little bit of an explanation on some context for the whole situation I'm in right now. So, first of all, I decided that in the month of January, I was going to do 314 demons. And this was sort of echoing Aeon and Zeronium's thing that they were doing, where Aeon and Zeronium were originally both going to do 500 demons, then Aeon upped his total to 1,000, and he was like, hey, you know, if any other Demon Grinders players, anyone wants to get in on this, you don't have to do 500, but you can set yourself a goal that you think is attainable for yourself, right? And go do it, right? Just get into the demon grinding a little bit for January, right? Try it out, play some levels, grind some stats out, and I was like, okay, you know, that sounds fun. I've been meaning to grind some demons. I want to get up there. So I sat down and said, what's a reasonable amount I can do? And at first I was thinking 250, and I'm like, that's kind of weak. 300? Oh, 314. I mean, come on, right? That's the number to hit. So I sat down, started grinding, and this month was tricky because I had a whole week where I was out of town, meeting up with some friends who you've heard in my calls before, CSX42, Nick, Dario, Cloud, who else was there? Dave was there, Davito, Arb was there, which was fucking awesome. Yeah, so we were all, I was out of state for that, right, out of town. So I had my laptop with me, but I wasn't like, I didn't have time to like sit down and grind shit, right, because things were happening, we were doing stuff, whatever. I got to do some while I was there, but definitely not a lot, right? So that kind of set me back. And then this month, college started up again, so I had to get through all of the, like, the start of college, and my, my mental space has not been great the past few weeks. I think I'm slowly on an upswing, hopefully. I'm hoping I'm working on it, getting better here. Today felt good, I'll tell you that much. But there were a lot of things this month where it was like, God, this demon grinding mouse. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna get done. But man, it is definitely like a chore all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And yeah, no, this was really, really cool. This was super fun. So then ABP, the reason I did ABP, while I was at that meetup actually, I was upstairs doing something. I don't even remember what. I was like upstairs doing something else. Everyone else was talking, and then one of them, like Dario, comes up and is like, you know, next time you do, it was either Dario or Nick, I can't remember who. Like, next time you go for like an extreme, you're doing ABP. And I was like, that's a weird request, but I have been meaning to do some like slightly higher end extremes. Like usually if I'm like, I'm in the mood for an extreme, I pick like something beginner tier. You know what I mean? Like free demon. Free extremes, right? But I've been meaning to do some that are like definitely genuinely like have some difficulty to them, right? And AVP had been on my list for a while because the key maze at the end is just so quintessentially something I feel like I need to, you know, have done, right? So I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'm down. I'll do ABP. And then that lined up perfectly with, I wanted to do an extreme to finish off the month. That lined up perfectly with this because I could do ABP for demon number 314 for the month, call it done. And this was an interesting experience. Now let's move on to actually talking about the level, my experience, my thoughts. Because this is ancient, right? This is, I mean, pretty early 2.0, I think. Like, most of this looks like it was probably made gameplay-wise, especially in 1.9. Outside of the keys at the end, every gameplay element here is a 1.9 gameplay element. There's some things that are invisible, but I don't think there's a single moving object in the level. No, there are a few. No, there's some moving stuff. Oh, there's actually a lot of moving stuff. I'm just stupid. Whatever. But like a lot of this gameplay did kind of feel mostly 1.9-y, right? So I think this is kind of on the verge of 2.0, I'm not sure. Very old level. For how old it is, not terrible. There were definitely some questionable moments and some problematic spots, and we'll get to those. But on the whole, I think if you're looking for an older level to do, this one's solid if you're not going for it as a hardest, right? If you've done a few, maybe a lot, of demons harder than this level, this one won't be too terrible to do, right? This is reasonably possible, right? The beginning is very easy. The first wave's tricky, but you do it enough, you just kind of get it down, right? It's not bad. It really isn't. Cosine's whole part could be in a medium demon. Repul's part's fine. The one click in Repul's part before the dual ship, last click before the dual mini ship, it, like, I want to say like around 29 or 30-ish. That click was tricky because it's just a tight timing, and then also the low visibility and low clarity of like what's where made that click trickier, right? I died to it more than I would have liked, but it wasn't terrible, right? It was early enough in the level, it wasn't too bad, I could get through it, right? The transition out of the dual ship and UFO thing into, because then you become like one ship and then wave time 3 speed. That transition's terrible. That transition's awful. You have to do it, like, fix it yourself, right? The way I did it was to like hold up high, but not like all the way high, go into the portal, and then right after going in the portal, do like start spamming, right? Because if you just go in the middle and start spamming, there's like a 50% chance you're just gonna die because of the way that like wave spam ends up lining up, right? So you need to set it up so that you have a lot of time to fall into the portal and react and then start like spamming, right? Or I suppose you could do the opposite where you kind of hold in at first, but I found that was way less consistent. Yeah, so that was an annoying transition. Then there's a skip above 2 portals that Nexus did in his video, and I think most people probably do in the next wave, right? Like the one like big spinny circle object thing, like the spinny, like, you know, the 4-corner like spinny object, right? In that is an upside down and mini portal. and that seemed terrible to do, so instead you can just spam above it, and it's actually not that bad. I only ever, like, accidentally bumped the portals maybe, like, twice from 0, and I got there tons more times than that, so it's really, that was not that bad. I think what was next then. Oh, the UFO at the end of Luneth was actually kind of annoying. It was fine. Like, it worked most of the time, but every now and then you'd do what felt like a totally fine click pattern and just die to something that you didn't even realize you could die to. Mostly because the spikes were placed in really annoying spots, right? Like, very unintuitively. Like, there were some spikes that were, like, just very janky. I don't know. It was annoying, but like I say, mostly fine. Very manageable. If that was the worst thing about this level, this would be a great level. Like, unquestionably a great level. Unfortunately, there are many worse things about this level. We'll get to those. Then you have the... Oh, God, what's that? I have to keep thinking. Oh, Kriyakur Wave. There's another skip here where you skip the down gravity portal. And the down gravity portal a little bit before the coin. Oh, I did get all 3 coins. I just noticed that. There were times where I was missing the second coin, even the first coin. So I'm glad I got all 3 coins. But right before the first coin, like 3 clicks, I think, before the first coin, there's a down gravity portal there you can fall into instead of, like, staying upside down. And if you do that, it's easier in the short term, but then you have to do another one of the, like, invis upside down gravity clicks, right? Where you have to, like, go down, hit an invisible upside down portal, and then, like, click pretty quickly, right? So I was like, I'll just head that off at the pass. I'll skip that. Which was nice. And then the end of this Kriyakur Wave, the big wave part, is just disgusting. I mean, just genuinely terrible. Like, if you're learning, like, how do I make a wave part, take notes that this is how not to do it. Because you just have the spikes on the bottom of the wave that just make it so, like, unnecessarily tight and finicky, and it doesn't feel intuitive, and it's impossible to, like, read or see what's happening. And the transition out's annoying too, because the very last release, if you go too high, you turn into a ship and die to the spike on top, which was really not fun. So that little section was one of the first, like, major issues with the level. Like, that's bad, bro. That's terrible. Then you have genuinely something that could be an 8-star for the next person's part. Like this, the Red Dragon or whatever it was. Why? How is this in an extreme? What? Like, it's just, like, it's the break section in the middle. Like, there's no difficulty here. I died here maybe once, I think, because I wasn't paying the fucking attention. I mean, it's just, like, genuinely, this is pointless. And then Woogie's part, which is one of the harder parts of the level, I think. The beginning of Woogie's fine. Like I say, you hold onto that block, everything's fine. And then you have 5 clicks in a row that are just so ass. Because you have the blue orb in, then the invis yellow orb out, which are both really tight timings with not very good visual cues, so you just gotta really kind of get a feel for them. Then you have the blue-yellow, which are the 2 worst offenders, because you want to, like, hit the yellow early or buffer it, so you get over the spike, but you have to hit the blue late enough that you can buffer it and get over, and not hit the spike above the blue orb. Right? So you have to, like, kind of middle time vaguely the blue orb, sort of, then buffer sort of the yellow orb, and then you have to time the green orb, except sometimes you can buffer it, I think, depending on how you've done the previous 2 clicks. It's a mess. It's a mess. Genuinely, those 5 clicks are terrible. Like, awful. The rest of Woogie's part's pretty fine. Whatever. No big deal. Zenthic's part I actually found pretty fun. The transition from wave to ship is a little janky and does take some getting used to. It's definitely not something that everyone's going to find fair. I didn't at first, and then I got consistent with it, and it really wasn't a problem. I really did. I thought Zenthic's part was solid. Then the wave, I don't know if the wave at the end is Zenthic's part or the start of the next part. I'm honestly not sure. I think it might be Zenthic's part. If it is, that's not okay. Because that wave part, first of all, doing, like, the controlled down and up, like, wave, like, slow slope down, slow slope up wave, like, that's really kind of finicky and annoying. I don't like that, and it's not super fun in this content, especially with, like, the dark kind of objects that don't really super well define what you're doing. I don't know, it was a bit of a mess. And then the gravity portals at the end of that little wave thing don't line up right, so you have to either, like, click in the gravity portals to make sure you're not dying, or, alternatively, you can, like, let go really early into the blue port. Oh my god, my screen is dimming. Why? I'm at full brightness. I need to change that setting. But you can, like, you have to let go early into the portal so that you don't have to click. And then the first mini-wave click and the second mini-wave click also are really bad, because the first mini-wave click you have to click late, but you can't, like, if you hold too far, you, like, die to the thing above the mini-portal. And then the second click's annoying because you have to go into that corridor, but then the bottom just, like, moves because, sure, let's have it move, because moving objects are a thing now. And that made that timing really annoying. And then you also had to let go of that timing early enough, because if you go up too early, then you'll die to like this, like the 45-degree slope on top. That was really janky. The rest of this part's like fine. It's just kind of annoying. The spam through the last two saws is terrible. And then the biggest problem I had, second biggest problem I had with this level, was this transition from mini wave to dual ship. It's so terribly unforgiving. Like, just remove the spikes and it's fine. Genuinely, the spikes there at 69 on that transition, remove them and it's fine. It's not even a problem. It's, everything's cool, right? We're good. But because the spikes are there, you have to hit that like dead center, and it's so janky. It really is. It's really unforgiving, super annoying, not fun. That was terrible. The whole asymmetrical duel I actually found really fun once I learned it. Like, genuinely, that asymmetrical duel was some really solid gameplay. I think it was probably nerfed from what it originally was, because there are a ton of invisible things throughout it. I think some of the nerfs helped and some of them definitely didn't. But it was interesting to kind of see what it ended up being. I think as it is, it's fine. And then this is the worst thing about the level, is the transition out of that duel into mini wave, which somehow I didn't die to. You can't see shit, and you just have to nail the first gap between the two like spike stars. Well, I don't know how I didn't die there from zero. I should have, like, twice, at least, like, guaranteed. I thought for sure, oh, I'm going to die here a bunch, right? The whole rest of the mini-wave's not easy either, but, like, it's manageable. But that beginning transition's terrible. Transition from mini-wave to ship is also pretty annoying, because it does kind of appear on you. Not as bad as any of the other things I've mentioned so far. Like, not nearly as bad as this transition into mini-wave, but not great either. And then the rest of the level's pretty much fine. Really, the rest, the key maze is like free. Just memorize the numbers. The key maze, I looked up the key sequence, wrote it down next to me in case I needed it, and then first tried the keys without looking at the list next to me. Just like had the numbers memorized already, and I don't think I failed the key maze more than maybe twice in practice. Once because I wasn't actually like focusing, and once because I was being distracted by someone in a voice call. Seriously, the keys are free. Genuinely, the keys are free. And also really cool. I think it's kind of a fun little thing to put at the end of your level. I don't know. I like having a little memory challenge, a little extra bonus thing. I don't know. I thought that was cool. But yeah, no, honestly, aside from a few major issues, a lot of this level is really solid and pretty enjoyable once you get it down. It really is. Like I said, there were a few moments that were janky, and for that, I can't give it anything higher than maybe like a 75 at the highest. I don't know what I'm going to put in the description for enjoyment. I really don't. But this wasn't terrible. This was fine, you know, solid level. I can see why some people really, really like levels like this. If you're, you know, you're from this era, nostalgic for this era, whatever. Like, this is solid. You know, this is fine. But, yeah. Oh, man. This was a journey. I will probably be putting notes in the description with some stats on how many easy, medium, hard, and insane extremes I beat this month. Like, up until this point. I think I might do like another demon tonight. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So my final total for the month might not be 314, but this was the goal, right? So this is all I really care about. Like both Zeronium and Aeon are going past 1,000. I'll go past 314 a little bit potentially, maybe. But this was the goal. So up until 314, I will have stats probably posted in the description, just for those who are curious on like what of each difficulty I did. So yeah. Oh, man. How long did I just ramble on for? Oh, God. That was like a 15-minute rambling. This level did not deserve a 15-minute ramble. I don't know why I felt the need to do that. Okay, whatever. But, yeah, I guess I'm making up for all of the extremes I haven't been posting while I've been demon grinding, right? Sure. That's what I'll tell myself. All right. I'm going to cut the recording here now. Bye.